Some of Britain's biggest names have found themselves being talked about for all the wrong reasons over the years. Away from appearing on our TV screens on some of the nation's favorite daytime TV programs, several big names have made unwanted cameos in a court. Earlier this week, Loose Women presenter Coleen Nolan fined almost £1,000 and handed 6 penalty points on her licence after being caught speeding earlier this month. The former singer isn't the only famous figure to have a brush with the law when it comes to driving offences, with some stars presenting unique reasons when pleading to be let off with a lighter ban or fine. Nick Knowles was banned from driving for 6 months in June 2019 after he was caught speeding while on his phone. The 60-year-old TV presenter, best known for his work on BBC show DIYSOS, was also fined more than £1,300 at Cheltenham Magistrates Court. He went on to describe the ban as a wake-up call. A court heard that the former "I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here" contestant was driving at 85 miles per hour in his Range Rover when he was caught by a police mobile speed camera on the A417 Brockworth bypass. Nick told judges that he had not used the hands-free kit inside his car because of a dodgy power lead. As the Who Dares Wins presenter already had 6 points on his licence, the 6 points added after this offence took him to the 12-point limit required for a ban. Presiding Justice Andrew Hill told Nick, "We take into account that you have shown remorse. We will disqualify you from driving today and you will be disqualified from driving for 6 months. From this moment in time, you are not able to drive any motor vehicle in any public place." Nick then asked, "I can drive home, right?" After being told no, he couldn't drive himself home from court, the TV presenter then said, "I'm joking." Nick was also fined £666 for speeding and £666 for using his mobile phone, with a victim surcharge of £66 and prosecution costs of £85. Speaking after the case, the BBC presenter stated, "For me, this was a wake-up call and me putting my phone in the boot of my car now stops the temptation." The 6-month ban was appropriate because to give anything else would be giving me special privilege. Martin Roberts was banned from driving and fined thousands of pounds in 2019 after failing to undergo a police drink-drive test. The homes under the Hammer presenter taken to Keynsham Police Centre on Ashmead Road on November 24, 2018 where he was required to provide a specimen of breath for analysis, according to court papers seen by Somerset Live. The TV star, who appeared on I'm a Celebrity. Get Me Out of Here in 2016, pleaded not guilty to failing to provide a sample without reasonable excuse to do so at Bath Magistrates Court in 2019. On March 27 he was found guilty and fined £3,461 and ordered to pay a victim surcharge of £120 and prosecution costs of £930. Martin was banned from driving for 23 months. Speaking in 2019, Martin's lawyer Charles Napper said, "Mr. Roberts was convicted despite the evidence from a medical expert that he suffers from certain medical conditions that were likely to have prevented him from giving a sample." Mr. Roberts maintains that he failed to give a sample only as a result of those medical conditions and is in the process of lodging an appeal. It would therefore be inappropriate to comment further until after the appeal has been heard. Martin's appeal case was later dismissed by recorder Noel Casey, who retained the sentence and imposed £520 costs, telling the TV presenter, "We accept the appellant suffers from asthma but not to an extent much greater than many other sufferers." Speaking to Bristol Live following his failed appeal, Martin said, "This is a bad day for me. But it is also a terrible day for asthma sufferers. How can it be fair that someone that has a lifelong history of asthma, that declares that asthma to police, is only offered a breath ulcer test that involves exhaling effectively, and is not offered any alternative way of providing a sample, such as giving blood or urine?" Kay Burley was taken off air at Sky News for 6 months in December 2020 after hosting a birthday party that broke coronavirus regulations earlier that year. Sky's political editor, Beth Rigby, and the North of England correspondent Inzamam Rashid also agreed to stay off air for 3 months. All 3 journalists remained on full pay throughout their break from TV screens, which was characterized as agreed absences rather than suspensions. In an email to colleagues at the time, Kay said she was really very sorry for her actions and described herself as an idiot. The journalist, who is a presenter on Sky News and hosts Kay Burley, the breakfast slot on the channel, also published a statement on Twitter that said, "It doesn't matter that I thought I was COVID compliant on a recent social event. The fact is I was wrong, I made a big mistake, and I am sorry. I very much look forward to being able to continue my 32-year career with Sky when I return." Kay was taken off air in December after her 60th birthday party in London, which was then under Tier 2 restrictions. The broadcaster had been part of a group that dined at 2 tables in one venue and then visited another before a group of 4 went back to her house. Kay returned to Sky News on 7 June. Jamelia, who sat on the Loose Women panel between 2013 and 2016, cried in court in 2014 after it emerged that she had been driving around without insurance. The superstar singer, 42, admitted in Redditch Magistrates Court she thought her insurance would renew automatically. The Brit award-winning singer was stopped by police on the A491 next to Bromsgrove on August 24, 2013, where officers also discovered 2 of Jamelia's tyres had insufficient tread and another with a lump, bulge or tear. Jamelia was later given a 45 days driving ban, ordered to pay a fine of £455 and £60 in court costs. Appearing in court, the mum of 4 cried in the dock and appealed to the magistrates not to ban her from driving as she had no family or friends that could drive her children to school. She unsuccessfully argued she could not afford to pay the £70 taxi fee for both of her children to travel to school and back each day. The Hollyoaks actress argued that as a self-employed entertainer she had to budget her earnings as she was never sure when her next paycheck would be. Jamelia made no comment as she left Redditch Magistrates Court after being informed she would be unable to get behind the wheel of a car for 45 days. Coleen Nolan has been fined almost £1,000 and handed 6 penalty points on her licence after being caught speeding. The Loose Women star, 58, had been driving her Toyota on Preston New Road in Blackpool, Lancs when she broke the 30 mph speed limit on July 8. She initially pled not guilty but changed her plea to guilty on the day of the trial at Preston Magistrates Courts on July 21. In addition to the £900 fine and points on her licence, she must also pay a £360 surcharge to fund victim services and £150 costs to the Crown Prosecution Service. The TV personality, who has appeared on Loose Women on and off since 2000, shared earlier this month that she had been diagnosed with basal cell carcinoma on her shoulder and melanoma on her face. Follow Mirror Celebs on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube and Threads.